What used to be maybe 50 is now thousands of resumes that pile in. Before COVID, an employer might get 20 to 50 resumes. But post-COVID, when employers accept that you can work anywhere, it is totally an employer market. So being unprepared, winging it, and just hoping and thinking, I've got it, I can just walk in, that is not going to get it. Have you ever gone into an interview unprepared, just winging it? I got to raise my hand as well because I have multiple times, and it has worked, but not so much anymore. And in an employer's market, it is not a good idea. In this video, I want to talk about 2 tools that I have used for interview practice. You want to be as prepared as possible. And by prepared in this context, I'm talking about ready to answer the questions, that you feel as calm as is possible, and you're not overly nervous, anxious, all of the things. When I go into interviews, I get nervous regardless, anxious. It's a new situation. I want to feel like I'm the most prepared, that I've practiced enough with the questions and how I would respond, that I can walk in with some confidence and put my best foot forward. And then after that, at least, if I don't get it, I did everything I could. 2 tools that I have used for interview practice. And this is real helpful, not 2 items being talking to a mirror or trying to get your friends and family to ask you questions and not goof off. No, that's not helpful. I want you to have helpful information here. The 2 tools I want to talk about are Yoodli and ChatGPT. And both of these are free in this context. There's no put a credit card in and get a 7-day free trial. I will give you the information that you need to let you jump off the branch and work on it on your own. The first tool I want to talk about is Yoodli. They have a great interview practice. It will record you, so audio, video. There's some pre-prep. You choose the role that you're going to be interviewing for, but you can also kind of choose your interviewer. Are they very professional, very technical? Maybe they're laid back. You don't know what you're going to get into when you have the real interview, but I thought that was a nice touch, especially if you're just starting that and you're super nervous. Maybe you could angle that for what you hope your interview would be. You can also choose how many questions you want to be asked. It does not tell you ahead of time which questions you're getting, but you can include some questions that you want to practice them. After these initial setups, you jump into the interview. It'll ask you a question and it's back and forth, question, answer. So I motivate my team members by keeping in contact with them, asking them how they're doing, just being involved with them. And then when you leave that, it'll analyze how you did, how quickly did you speak, how many filler words, how did you answer the question in relation to what it expected. And then you just see all the results from that. I like that it says the pacing, that it shows you the transcription of the question that it asked and what your response was in whole, and then it shows how much time you took. Was it too much, too little? And give suggestions on what could have tightened the answer if needed. I think that's a great help, and it's something that you can also look back on after. You can watch the video again. What were your facial expressions? How much did you pop? Just any of those things that you might not think of while you're doing even the mock interview, but I found them helpful, for me at least. It's just an extra thing that's out there. So that's Yoodli. And the other tool that I wanted to talk about is ChatGPT. Free tier works fantastic, but if you do pay for ChatGPT, you can use the projects. Then you can go back over any of the practices that you've done before and see how you're progressing and getting different analysis. So I found that it's much easier if you don't do the talking. For this, I had practiced mainly with typing, which sucks because you're not going to type back and forth in an interview, although I'm sure we're not far off from that. To get as close to that as possible, you can ask ChatGPT to type their question, but then let you speak your answer. You can upload your resume and the actual job description, and as part of the prompt, which I will share with you in the description, ask ChatGPT, I'm going for this role, here's the job description, here is my resume that an interviewer would have. And like Yoodli does, you can ask ChatGPT, as an interviewer, could you be a manager, technical architect, whatever the job role would be, ask them to play that role. And for each question, let me answer before you ask the next one. Tell me about a time when you led a team through a high-pressure situation. What was the challenge and how did you guide the team to success? So, a time when I had to lead a team through a high-pressure situation is a support issue. It was a good learning experience. I'm finished with my answer. Once I've answered the last question, please analyze. How did you answer the question? Was it in line with what an interviewer in that role for that job description? Would that be something that would be acceptable? Some suggestions on how to improve. Both of these tools are very useful. It was good to go into the interview and feel like I had done some real practice and was able to answer the question. Mama was still nervous, but I did feel more prepared, more ready to answer the questions. So that was a huge help. 1,000 times better than it would have been if I had no practice or tried doing the whole mirror thing. Because that I don't find helpful at all. So both of these are very good. Going back to Yoodli for a moment, if you are doing a virtual interview, Yoodli also has an app that will join you on your calls incognito. It'll record your session and give you analysis just like you had done your mock interviews. I'm also going to soapbox this for a minute. The app is only recording you. It's only going to give feedback on you. You will not see any transcript, anything regarding anyone else but you. When I used it, it just says someone else is speaking, something like that. You don't see that. It doesn't keep track of what the question was, nothing. I only see the transcript of what I responded with and the analysis from my answers. That's it. I know there are other apps that will join your call and will give you answers to the questions that the interviewer asks. If you're thinking that you need to use this because you're nervous and you want to make sure that you have the right answer, it's expected that you're going to be nervous, and I'll explain that more after I hand my soapbox back. For right now, I'm just going to say if that's the concern, please don't do it. But for the people that are going to use this because you're probably not qualified for the job and you know it, and you want to put your best foot forward, please don't do this. Don't be a dick. You're going to go into the interview, get the answers, and let's say you actually get the job. That's great. You know you're not qualified, and they're going to know it pretty quick too, because you're going to be buried and you're going to get fired, or you're going to run screaming for the hills. The person that should have had that job to begin with, well, hopefully they found something else. But now this company needs to search again, and whatever coals they made everybody walk through before, they're going to amp the fire. So thank you very much. Don't do this. It's bad. Either of those situations. If you're not qualified for the job, I get it. The market sucks. Find another job. Let the person that's actually qualified get in there. I don't know why they make these apps to begin with. Soapbox situation over. Being nervous is expected in an interview. It's nice if you see someone that's calm, cool, and collected. I don't know that I've ever really seen that in anybody unless they didn't want the job anyway. And I know that because I've interviewed a lot of people from a fresher up to senior levels. And in every different situation, I have to prep. I need to know what questions I'm asking. I'm reviewing your resume, as are the people that I'm pulling in. It's IT, we tend to tag team. I apologize, but I have to have the different people to make sure that you know what you're talking about, and also to talk about what the role is going to be. Because if I've picked your resume out of the bunch and I'm bringing you in, it's not a practice shot. I want to hire you. So am I following through and keeping this person? Have they answered in the way I was hoping? Or we move on to the next. Just know that when you go to that interview, that job is yours. You just have to prove that you know what you know. So just be as prepared as possible and know that it goes both ways. I want to know that I've relayed all the information, asked all the questions, and made you feel as comfortable as possible, because I want you to still want the job after the interview. So it's not just on your side. So if that helps at all, I never knew that until I was on the other side of it. So if you're in the interview and you don't know everything, because you won't, especially in a technical interview, okay, I'll give you another tip, but don't tell people that I'm telling you this. They want to see if they can flub you. We want to see if you're going to mess up an answer. We want to throw curveballs at you. So the more technical and senior level that you are, the more you're going to get hit with things like that. What do you do if we want to see how you think? Not that, yeah, I know everything, all the things. That's great. So did now thousands of applicants. But how does your brain work if proverbial fire happens? That's what we want to see. I do it with freshers as well, not to that level, but I want to see, is the brain engaged? What happens? And part of that, if you're not sure, say you're not sure. Honesty is fantastic. I don't want somebody to start a job and act like they know something that they don't, and then they're wasting time. They're wasting their time. They're wasting our project time. So be honest. If you're not sure, say you're not sure. If you say it for every question, then you're probably not the right person for the job. But one or two, depending on what they are, I'm not sure, but maybe blah, or I think blah, or I'm not sure, and see where it goes from there. Do your best. Try Yoodli, try ChatGPT, and now that you know about these, go searching for other AI interview tools. It's hit or miss if you get free with credit card and the 7-day cancel things, but these I know are free, no credit card required. There are limits to how much you can use Yoodli. Use it for what you can, even if it's for a couple interview practices. And I thought that was gold, that it would join the call with you and give you analysis on that. That I thought was fantastic. I forgot. One last piece before I go. Besides doing the practice for an interview, you can do this just to practice giving answers to, tell me about your work, tell me what you do, and getting it down to a minute-ish of details that they actually want, which, spoiler alert, if you don't know, and I didn't really, they don't, sorry, they don't want personal information, maybe where you live or how long you've lived there, you might get into that, but it basically, my name is, I've been at this position for, I do this. You use that even in your current job, right? If we get into projects, you get on a call, there's always somebody new, we always have to introduce ourselves, or when you're at the family barbecue, there's always some family member who forgets what you do and for some reason wants to know again. You're prepared for it. And just give the quick whatever in that situation, depending on the chaos level. You could even ask GPT to give you some words so that they'll never ask you again. But that's on you for your chaos level. Good luck. I appreciate you watching. Thank you. I hope this helps you and you're able to practice interviewing and you get that interview, and even more important, the job. Please like and subscribe. If you subscribe, then you can come back and get other tips that are helpful for you. But whatever the case, I appreciate that you stopped by today. Good luck. Bye.